The village of Darnwick was the kind of place that never showed up on maps. It sat between two crumbling hills, hidden beneath a permanent shroud of mist. Travelers rarely stopped there, and when they did, they didn't stay long. So when Rowan, a tired wanderer with a pack full of sketches and half-finished poems, stumbled into Darnwick just before sunset, the locals knew he didn't belong. He found the only inn in the village, the Hound's Rest, and ordered ale from the barkeep, a gaunt man with eyes as pale as fog. "You're not from around here," the man said, sliding the drink across the counter. "Just passing through," Rowan replied, "heading north." The man nodded once. "Best be gone before nightfall, then." Rowan gave a faint smile. "Storm's coming. I'll rest here at night." The barkeep's hands froze around a mug he was drying. "Storm or no storm. Stranger, we don't go out after dark. Not since the well started whispering again." Rowan raised an eyebrow. "The well?" A woman by the hearth, her hands wrapped around a cup of broth, spat on the floor. "Don't speak of it," she hissed. "It hears you." The barkeep shot her a warning glance, but sighed, leaning closer to Rowan. "It's an old thing. Been in the center of the village since before my grandfather's time. They say a witch was thrown down it. She cursed the water, said anyone who looked in after sundown would see not the reflection, but what waits beneath." The room fell silent, save for the crackle of the fire. Rowan chuckled nervously. "You're joking." No one laughed. That night, the storm never came. The sky stayed strangely still, moonlight pale over the roofs of Darnwick. Rowan sat by a small window, unable to sleep. From the lane below, he could see the outline of the well, a dark circle of stone wrapped in weeds, its wooden cover half rotten. He told himself it was just a story, a way to keep strangers out of trouble. Yet curiosity, like a splinter in the mind, refused to leave him. By midnight, he was out the door. The village was silent. Not the usual quiet of night, but a silence that pressed against the ears. Even the crickets were still. Rowan crossed a cobbled square, his boots echoing faintly. The air was damp and cold, the kind that seeped into your bones. He stopped before the well. The stones were slick with moss. An iron bucket lay tipped on its side, handle broken. "Just a story," he muttered to himself. "A cursed witch, right? Probably nothing down there but mud." He leaned over and peered into the darkness. At first, he saw only his own reflection, faint and warped in the moonlight. Then it blinked. Rowan jerked back, breath caught in his throat. He stared again. The water below rippled though he hadn't touched the rope or stone. His reflection began to change. The eyes darkened, the mouth twisted into a faint grin. "Who's there?" Rowan whispered. Something moved in the water, slow and deliberate. The surface rippled outward like a living thing, and a whisper rose from the depths, faint, feminine, echoing. "You looked." The words brushed against his ears, soft as breath. Rowan stumbled back, nearly tripping on the bucket. What are you?" The voice came again, clearer now. "Set me free." And then from the corner of his eye, he saw fingers, pale, slender, dripping, gripping the inside of the well's rim. Rowan ran. He didn't stop until he burst back into the Hound's Rest, slamming the door behind him. The barkeep, who had been half asleep by the fire, jumped to his feet. "By the saints, what happened to you?" "The well." Rowan gasped. "There's someone down there." The barkeep's face drained of color. He turned to the woman by the hearth, who was now wide-eyed with terror. "She's awake again," the woman murmured. "The traveler's woken her." Rowan grabbed the barkeep's arm. "You have to fill it in. Seal it. Burn it. Whatever it takes." The man shook his head slowly. "We tried years ago. Every time we cover it, it opens again somewhere else. The curse moves." A gust of wind rattled the windows. The lanterns flickered though there was no draft. Then, faintly from outside, came a sound like dripping water, and a low, dragging shuffle across the cobblestones. The barkeep snatched up a rusted iron cross from the wall. "Get upstairs," he said hoarsely. "Now." Rowan obeyed. He climbed to his room, heart hammering, and shut the door tight. But as he leaned against it, he heard it again, the whisper. You looked. The voice was inside the room. He turned slowly. The window was still closed. The shadows in the corner, however, were thicker than before, pulsing faintly as though breathing. Rowan lit the candle on his bedside table with shaking hands. The light flickered and wavered, revealing wet footprints across the wooden floor, leading straight from the window to his bed. He swallowed hard. "No!" he whispered. "No, no, no!" Something cold brushed his neck. He spun around. Nothing. Then the candle went out. The darkness came alive. Fingers, dozens of them, slick and dripping, slid across the floorboards. A face began to take shape from the blackness, its eyes hollow, its smile too wide. You looked. The voice hissed again, right beside his ear. "Now I can see you too," Rowan screamed. When morning came, the villagers found his room empty. The window stood open, the floor soaked with water. His pack and boots were still by the bed. No one searched for him. They never did. Instead, they nailed the door shut, muttered old prayers, and threw salt across the threshold. The barkeep went out to square. The well's wooden cover was gone. In its place, the stones were wet, as if something had climbed out. He spat on the ground and whispered, "Another fool." That night, they covered the well again, and for a few months, the whispers stopped. But one foggy evening, a group of children dared each other to peek inside. "Go on," one boy said, shoving another toward the edge. "You're scared." The smallest of them, a girl with plaited hair, stepped forward, trembling. She leaned over the mossy rim and looked down. For a moment, there was nothing but still, black water. Then something moved below, a faint glimmer, like a face reflected back. The girl frowned. "That's not me." She blinked, and the face smiled. "You looked."